Hello, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command, Zenith Remnant Edition 7.3 difficulty, the higher of the normal difficulty levels, and I think I've got an idea how to move forward here. We've got lots of options. We've got, of course, the Golems, Geonosis, Sedna, Dysnomia. We're going to want to take all of those eventually. We've got still the advanced research stations in Thule and Iapetus, and there's all kinds of backup servers that we might be interested in. Right now, the most immediate thing that interests me is Venus, Mark V bombers. That would be really nice to get, and since we're right next to it, I just want to beachhead it and hack it. Now, that is going to put a couple more, some more strong planets on alert, but I think it's going to be worth it in this case. We have quite a few planets on alert now, so it should spread things out a little bit. But the Mark V bomber is definitely worth getting, and I don't want to take the planet to get it. Then, we'd still be putting these on alert. And two Mark Vs, or Mark IV rather, planets, and a Mark III. Not super interested in that. And then, of course, you could take this even further and say, well, we might have to put Palma on alert anyway. If we take Geonosis, we would be putting Endor on alert. So there's not a huge amount of alert going on that's not just going to happen. I want to do that first. And then I think Sedna over here, all we would have to do is go from Jupiter, Thisbe, Sedna. And then that would put us within range of Thule. It would get us pretty close to here, maybe even to here, to raid and hit that data center. It's not too far away from this coprocessor in Nemesis that we're going to want to get eventually. So this is a good, I think, close one to start us pushing up that way. And I'm definitely going to want it eventually. Now, Thisbe has a couple of ion cannons and one's a Mark IV. So instead of just flying through it, I think I'm just going to, stick the assault transports and go that route. So that's that side of things. Our strategic, expansion, we've got plenty of options. And I want to do the Venus and Sedna thing simultaneously. And that's not all we're going to be doing. I also want to resume scouting. I think we're at a point where that's a little bit iffy here. You can see, for example, Endor, we've got some wormholes. Electra, we've got some wormholes. And these are only 2 hops away from Malkav 11. So I want to get those sorted out and gradually push our way out further. If I can do it, I want to get back to having all wormholes explored 3 jumps away from all of our planets. I'd really like to get, as soon as we can, find an advanced factory somewhere, take that eventually, get that Mark IV scout, and then we can just send it and find out where everything is. That is down the road until we can find it. We're a little over a third, but not nearly to a halfway on the planets explored. So I think in this push I'd like to at least get up to half if I can. And then we're not going to have any metal for it immediately, but I do eventually want to start pushing more back into the power generator. If we get that under control, start pushing it into the golem here. So we've got plenty of stuff for the metal to work on. Of course, I'm going to want to be expanding our turrets and making sure that we're getting those up, making sure we've got that Mark V munitions booster everywhere and our Grav 3 turrets and everything, so we're protected against the vampire claws. And we haven't built any turrets yet in Malkav 11. That's going to be coming up here. A fair number of this is going to be off screen, but we've really got a lot of things I'm going to be doing right now, a lot of balls in the air, a lot of plates spinning, however you want to look at that. I should apologize for my voice. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit of winter congestion, not too bad. So hopefully it comes through reasonably clear. Do my best with it. Now, we've got a bunch of things progressing, and there really hasn't been anything that fascinating to watch. I did build another space dock here in Malkav 11 to serve as a new source of scouts. We did find a couple things. Over here in Titan, there's a second coprocessor. So we've got 2 of those. Need to find 2 more. And then there's something in Calypso called a gravity drill, which could be interesting. It's right by the wormhole to Pulkova, which is unfortunately, I don't want to take that system. But these potentially can be captured, and they yield 180 metal, 40,000 energy. So that does increase the value of the system. but I really don't like having something this weak right by a wormhole. The chances of this getting destroyed be way too high, I feel. And, you know, there's nothing out here. Radislava, nothing interesting there, nothing interesting in Pulkova. Electra the other way, I don't feel like I want to take that, so I think I'm just going to leave this alone. And then in Venus, we finished our hack. We now have the Mark V bomber, which is exciting. Got those building. But this sort of took a bit of a hit. I certainly didn't build too much in here, potentially not enough. And I think I'm missing... Yeah, I think they killed my munitions booster. So I'm definitely going to want to get one of those back. But also, Astro Trains keep coming in with armor and attack boost. This is the after hack cleanup. And I got a bunch of bombardment ships. So I'm going to want to come in, clean that out before I continue any further. I also want to do a knowledge hack here just while I'm in the system. The next hack's going to be at the moderate level. What I'm thinking I want to do is come in with the fleet when we're done in Sedna, clean those out, and also have more energy by that time because we're down to under 100,000, which is sort of a danger area. And we do have a reprisal coming from Sedna. We have lost some ships there, but we're not doing too bad. There was a Needler outpost here. That's gone. We've cleaned up most of the ships. We've got a few other things around. The command station shield guard post, the Spire shield guard post. I'm going to take those out real quick, but the main part of this battle is going to be right over here by the broken artillery golem, where we need to take out a MLRS post. It's a Mark III, and it's under a Mark III force field. So that'll take a little bit of hitting to do. But other than that, this has been very straightforward. And a few minutes later, we fought off a few more reinforcements, took care of about 3, I think, small guard posts, and then it was time to head off and attack the fortified one. Our fighters and planes are not over here. They're down here at this side of the system, making sure nothing happens to my colony ship. And I think we're going to be pretty good here, but just see how this turns out. And the plasma siege doing a number on the stuff underneath. Let's hope it doesn't destroy. It doesn't appear that it's damaging the artillery golem, thankfully. Okay. There's all the extra ships. And yeah, that's my scouting group. They're going through Endor to somewhere else. Okay. So now I'm just going to take out the command station and get set up here. Let's take a look at those scouts. They've arrived at their destination, but only one of them, which is a problem. I wanted to see what else was off of Geonosis, because that's where the other broken golem is. But apparently I'm not going to be allowed to do that. I just don't have enough scouts right now to push out that far through the various ions and whatnot. I suppose it doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to take it anyway. I'll just go explore elsewhere. But yeah, building up in Sedna is my next thing, and then I can deploy resources elsewhere, finish up in Venus. Just when I had everything set up and was about to leave, this happened. The Zenith Mining Golems have showed up. They're not here, so all the more reason for me to leave. They do have one bombardment ship here, but it's pretty well damaged, and I don't see that, one ship I'm not going to care about. Send a couple fighters back if it sticks around. But first of all, this is all going on. And Yavin, we're not too concerned about that, but they're coming to our territory in Puck and in Jupiter. And if we take a look at these real quick, sent from deep space to consume the planet's heading toward, what kind of stats we got? No attack multipliers, except for can't attack command grade or structural. Dampening range of 10,000, immune to a whole bunch of stuff, including mass drivers and sniper shots. You don't get attack boosts, you don't get armor boosts, you don't get tractor beams against this thing. Given that it's got a 10,000 point attack, attacks every 3 seconds. The health of 1.2 million is good, but it's not oppressive. The fortresses are bigger than that. Even the lower mark AI fortresses. So it looks like this is a good ship for just sending a bunch of fleet ships up against it. Therefore most of its attacks are going to be wasted on them as opposed to a starship. probably wouldn't be so great. So that's what I'm going to try to do, just mass all my fleet ships and pound it. Alright, here we are, and you can see we're maintaining a pretty low amount of metal right now. Some of it's being consumed in Venus, and some of it is just all of the stuff we just recently built in Sedna. But I've got over 700 ships that really should tear this up pretty good. Okay, there we go, and we got a reprisal level 1 from somewhere. But it's starting to attack us already, so I'm going to get out of the group and just... everybody at your own speed. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty quick, really. And now we've just got to head off to Jupiter and do the same thing. And then when that's done, we can finally get up to Venus and help clear all of that out. So we got 567 threat, and quite a bit of it's in Jakku. That might be worth taking out when we're done there. So we wandered into an enemy attack here on Jupiter. A wave hit, and some of them are coming after us. We sort of moved out of the way, let the turrets clear them out, and there's another scout group having fun. And I just, I'm going to take out anything that happens to wander over here. And yeah, now they're wandering back. They just want to take out that one metal harvester. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll move on around the edge of the system and take out the golem. Our turrets can handle this group without any trouble. And it looks like they're already, the Leech starship is already turned around. They've already decided this is not a good idea. So I was in here in Venus, ready to start helping out with these Zenith bombardment ships and start the next hack. And I'm waiting for these astro trains to get out of the way so I can do that. And then something happened. A cross-planet attack happened, to be more specific. And there are some ships already here in Aspasia, which may or may not be part of it, but it looks like they're just heading, from Sigsag over to Laetitia. So they want to hit our homeworld. And then there's a carrier here in Yavin. And there's probably more involved with this. Over 1,300 threat. These are headed toward Aspasia as well. So, in the interest of not dying, I said, you know what? Let's just send the transports right back to our homeworld. Quickest possible route will go through Melpomene, that's fine. And I would prefer, if I can, to engage them in Laetitia or Aspasia rather than Yavin. If that carrier's coming, I'm going to wait for it to come out in here, because then we get the salvage for it. So let's see if we can stop this wonderful brouhaha from getting too far into our territory. And this is what we found when we reached Aspasia. Now this is the carrier group. They just deployed as I entered the system. And this is the other group. They got most of the way to this wormhole, and they started saying, you know what, we're just going to head over here because we don't think we have enough ships to attack Laetitia anymore. So I'm going to sort of divide and conquer, try to clean up this group and then help out the turrets. With that set, see how well that goes for us. Especially taking out all those will help. Okay, yeah, they're going to split off and come after us, and that's just fine, because that'll keep them away from everybody else. But taking out those bombardment ships is really going to help. Okay, 584, and they're all here. So we've got almost 600 ships now still attacking in this system. We can move a little bit this way. And all of this seems to be working quite well. Now we've lost almost 100, actually pretty much exactly 100 ships. But compared to everything else, that's not a big deal. All of these are immobilized. We can pick them off at our leisure. What's this? Oh, a viral shredder. Which is a new ship we haven't run into. I've heard bad things about them. But I don't have to hear any bad things about that one because it's dead. Okay, there we go. Now, we've still got some attacking. There's 88 here in Aspasia. They've got some chameleons, infiltrators. They've got a decent amount of vampire claws. Those are not doing anything right now. So let's take a look at how Aspasia's aerial, 248. They're probably alright. There is a fair number of bombardment ships there. And they're going to be immune to the snipers. I think it'd be a good idea to pack up our ships and head that way. So those are en route. But while they're coming in, they should probably arrive from Arcturus. I'm just going to take a look at how this is going without them. Yeah, they're going to take those out. Big deal. Okay, and now all of a sudden here appear a bunch of space planes. Threat, none that we can detect, really. Very small. Okay, now they're turning around to leave. And that includes, yeah, bombardment ships are turning around to leave. But you know what? I came in here. Came all the way over here. I'm not going to be here for nothing. I'm not sure that I want to allow you to leave. So let's get over there. And give them a piece of our mind. Whole bunch of bombardment ships, but they're going to be going away very soon. And now that this is cleaned up, I think I can try to go back to Venus. Let's make sure we're doing okay here, though, first. Interesting group popped into Sedna here. They're almost all vampire claws. So there appears to be, like, a leech is leading this group, but I decided, you know what? Let me just get a little bit extra security and temporarily build a tachyon beam emitter out a little further. So that once they start coming in here, we'll be able to see them with this group. Just in case they decide they're going to get a little bit too close. They deployed some units at Venus. There's a carrier there. And that's where my fleet was going anyway. You can see there's the hidden ships at Aspasia, and then there's these here at Sedna. And maybe they're sticking with the Leech starship or whatever, and maybe they're not going to attack. I'm reasonably secure. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Or reasonably confident that I'm secure, excuse me. Now in here, there do not appear to be any astro trains at the moment in Venus. And where did all those AI units... Oh, they deployed right here. They went after all this. Ugh. Yuck. And force fields down. Okay. We've got ourselves a problem. But we're going to go solve it real quick. This was... there's so many things happen with bad timing. This was a very fortuitous timing event. There goes those, and let's go after all of these as well. Everybody at whatever speed you can go. We need to do this quickly before... Yep, that's what I didn't want to have happen. Speed booster. Okay, there's... Hold on. How many of them are there? We've got a speed booster. We've got an attack booster, an armor booster... and attack yet. Well, at least there's no widows. There's no widows or tractors. See if we can take care of this before any of them more come in. Let's check Endor. And of course, we can't check Endor quite naturally. So this is risky doing this right by this wormhole. But since one just came through, I'm going to bet that none... Oh, here we go. Tachyon jammer. Repair. Widow. Yeah, okay, we got to get away. Doggone it. Run away. Wait for them to leave. At least get out of the way. That should be far enough. Okay, now we're going to go back after all of these. Stay with him. Okay, now there's a few over here. Let's go get those. But more importantly, get the heck away from wormholes. Okay, now these are all going to go over this way. I want them up by the transports, but mostly I want them away from any astral train paths. And now let's see this. Okay, this is repairing. Got a few engineers, not many, and okay, let's build 5 more Mark II engineers. Another reprisal warning, I don't really care. No further attacks. Nobody's left at Sedna, so I'm going to take down that Tachyon thing since they left. And then before I get any further, it looks like I lose my hacker. Yeah, they took out the hacker, so I'm going to need a new hacker in here. And then I'm also going to need to, I just want to beef the defenses up a bit. I want to drop off another munitions booster. And then even though we're still under that 150k threshold, I think I need to boost up just another 10 of each, so it gives 30 of each turret in here. So what I'd like to do is just clean up this mess, clean up the few last bits of these ships, and then, you know, get out of here. I want to get that hacker done, get this taken care of so that we can get this hacking done and take this down. Okay, what do we have? Tachyon, gravity, Astro booster. Okay, nothing too horrible there, but nonetheless, let's keep getting out of the way and then get that hacker in here. And Venus is just freaking popular right now. We've got some Marauder frigates trying to come in and give us a hard time. So since we're right here, let's just go clean them out. And then here's our hacker having arrived. Let's get that in place. And these are going to keep showing up. But the idea is to get this hack done before there's too many of them and then come clean them out again. Hopefully in a little bit more healthy way. Scouts into Endor. I need to be a little more careful of these wormholes. I got a little lucky last time. Anyway, let's get this hack underway. Over in Sedna, I've put 3 raid starships in this because I want to go hit just a few jumps away. I want to knock out this data center. Give ourselves a little bit of relief from all of this wonderful AI progress up over 200. And so far so good. Getting out is going to be interesting, but again, we don't care about that too much. There is, let's see, it's over here. On the complete opposite side of the system. There's also a backup server that we don't need to concern ourselves with. Yep. And that's about to die, so let's unload. Take this out. No, the data center. Thank you. We'll just see if we can possibly get out of here. Back to Sedna. Although I think this was probably a one-way trip. And there goes the transport, so I'll have to make the rest of it just with the raid starships running as if their lives depended on it, because guess what? They do. Make them go dark. One of them's dead. So who survived? Okay. 2 of them survived. They'll need some repair, but lost an assault transport and 1 raid starship. I could do a lot worse. Our threat's down to under 400, so that's fine. In Aspasia, the same group is still hanging out. We've got these vampire claws, 80 of them, just hanging out in Aspasia. They're not attacking, but they're also not leaving. And that just sort of makes me nervous. I don't know of any good way to sort of make them reveal themselves at the moment. So, I'm just going to have to stick with that. Knowledge hack is over. We've got almost 15,000. I definitely have some ways that I can upgrade soon. Not too worried about it because of the energy situation. But I just wanted to separate off my starships and go after this and see if they could take these out. Because the reason for doing it that way is just they're less vulnerable to the astro trains and all their lovely tractor and paralyze and all the other fun things they like to do. Not going to hit as hard, but it looks like they're going to hit hard enough. So yeah, I think I like this way of dealing with that situation better. Just know all those things to be learned. Keep the fleet ships away from the astro trains. We're going to have to do some chasing here to get rid of them all. Yep. So I want to go ahead and clean up the rest of these, but the heavy lifting in Venus is certainly done. I think I want to start also getting rid of a bunch of these turrets. I'd like to send the hacker back. And if the mobile builder survives, great. If it doesn't, I'm not going to cry about it. But everything else can go away. So our energy is back good. The hacks in Venus are over. We've got lots of knowledge to spend. Who's attacking us? Oh, they're hitting anti-cheese again. They just hit it a few minutes ago. Good luck. You're not going to get anywhere with that group yet. Leech Starship. We're not worried about that. Yavin's going to be dead soon. To the, a few minutes, Yavin's going to be gone due to that mining golem. Hacking down to 83. Moderate for the next progress. I may or may not want to do more knowledge hacks. That may be the last one of those I do. And then we've also been, about the time that last hack in Venus started, I turned this back on. So we're up to just over halfway now in the Zenith power generator. And we're approaching the halfway point. Like, our metal is high enough that I may even want to start advancing into one of the broken golems and start investing into that. So gradually making progress on those. And I think I left the fleet in Venus while that hack was going on and figure I had time for them to go off and do something else and then come back. And they did help some. And I would need them to come back and cleanse the area anyway. We hit the... So I think the next item on the agenda really is to hit some of these other targets. Advanced Research Station, the botnet broken golem there, the other broken golem in Geonosis. And then continue to expand outward. I'm becoming more and more concerned about the fact that I don't know where any of the advanced structures are. I really want Advanced Factory and I want it yesterday. And of course, Thule would be another one worth considering, especially since it's connected to Sedna, but I don't know what's off of this. That's got to be a scouting priority. So all of that will be coming up soon, but this should do it for this particular episode. Thanks for watching. More AI War Fleet Command.